Yo, what's up? It's your boy, the motherfucking UNJ, slinging some more stories at you today. And today, I'm gonna tell you about the girl at the rock show. So I was hanging out behind the club on the weekend, and I was acting stupid and getting drunk with my best friends. I couldn't wait for the summer on the Warp Tour, and that's when I first saw her there. Nah, I'm just kidding. A lot of you kids out there probably don't even know who I'm referencing. And that's okay. That joke that I just told is more for the people out there who are in my age group, or maybe like, 6, 7 years older than I am. There might be a few youngsters who get the joke, and if you do get the joke, kudos to you, keep up the good work. This particular adventure that I'm gonna share with you today is about a battle that I did that just so happened to be at a rock show. And no, I'm not talking like fist fight. I'm talking more of like altercation. More like in real life trolling. Not even that, honestly. More of like somebody was being an idiot and I told them that they were being a fucking idiot. And the story begins with a very fucked up 18-year-old "You're not motherfucking Justin." My hair was down to my shoulders. I had less tattoos and less piercings. I broke the law a little bit more than I do now. And I was just living a big life of sin and evil. See what I did there? I said sin. Like the guy, my father. Something that's really awesome about a majority of the stories that I had to tell you guys is that for most of them, I have pictures and videos of all of it. So that means it'll be like a special treat for the people who are actually watching the gameplay as well. And from what I can tell about this video series, which is awesome, is that a lot of people really just like to listen to this while they draw or work on stuff. And productivity is absolutely wonderful. And I'm thrilled to be a part of it. And if you are working on something while you're listening to this video, never fear because the pictures will always be in this video for you to come check out at any time. I live next to Seattle, and A Day to Remember, my favorite band ever, was going to be there. And me and my friend are huge A Day to Remember fans, and we told ourselves, fuck yeah, we are fucking going. We're gonna go there and get our tallies whacked. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna yell at somebody who's complaining. You see, that last part was a joke. I didn't intend to go anywhere and yell at anybody. Since I'm from the hood, I'm obliged to put motherfuckers in their place when they're acting stupid. I will not hesitate. Most of the time, of course, because unnecessary drama is unnecessary, and that's always the way that it's gonna be. If you don't have to get your hands dirty, don't get your hands dirty. But there's a certain line that gets crossed every now and then. I'm not condoning being an asshole, but I am condoning standing up to yourself when somebody else is being an asshole. Anyways, me and a group of friends, we all got tickets. And here's a picture of those tickets for you. Behold, the best $37 ever spent ever. Tickets that are more valuable than the golden tickets. And honestly, looking back at it, I'm still excited about those tickets because that was probably one of the best nights of my entire life. That night actually changed my life too, and we will get into that. Trust me. So everybody's super excited, and since we don't live directly in the city, we have to take a boat to get to the city of Seattle. And that entire time while we were all on the boat, we were just sitting on the edge of our seats, fucking waiting to get there, because we knew that we were about to get our minds blown, because that was going to be the first time that all of us had saw A Day to Remember. Maybe like 20 minutes later, we finally get off the boat, and we are like speed walking there with so much anticipation. And there it is. The venue, WAMU Theater, the place where the magic happens. And something that's really beautiful about going to events like that, going to see music live, is that it's like YouTube in a way. It's literally like YouTube, but in real life. You're gathering around a bunch of people who all have the same common interest as you. Just like how when you watch your favorite YouTubers, you're going into comment sections of people who all have the same common interest as you. Obviously, it's a little bit different because real life doesn't have a computer screen to hide behind. And the point that I'm trying to make is, liking the things that somebody does is great. Supporting them is great. Going to see them live or in person is fucking awesome. But there's always going to be some nasty people that are around you. Take, for instance, in the comment section. You could comment anything right now, like, great video. Or you could be somebody who was really into the video, and you could comment something with a little bit of dialogue in it and context. Half of the time, you're gonna get a reply of somebody who's disagreeing with you, no matter what the fuck you're saying. You could say, green is my favorite color. And then somebody would reply saying, fuck you, I hate you, blue is my favorite color. And for any of you interested out there, I fucking hate the color green. Enjoy your arguments. We're standing around in line, we're waiting to get inside the venue, and it's our big moment. We get to get cleared by security and then enter the venue and see our heroes. And we're finally there, and the place is fucking huge. The stage is literally a giant house because the tour that they were on was called the House Party Tour. And since it is a tour, and since this is just how music works, they weren't going to be the first band, or only band for that matter, that was going to play. So we had to wait for like 2 or 3 other bands to finish, but those were awesome too. They were all more poppy and soft bands, and it was still fucking awesome. It was great. I crowd surfed like 10 times, and that was before A Day to Remember. And if you don't know what crowd surfing is, that's when you look over to your buddy on the left or the right, or in front of you or behind you, and you say, hey, can you boost me up? And 9 times out of 10, they will happily oblige you, and then you crowd surf all the way up to the front, at least until you fall out of the sea of like 800 people, and then you're on the other side of the barricade, and you have to walk all the way back and end up at the back of the crowd, and then you restart and do it again. It was great. And finally, all of those bands were done, and the next band that was up was going to be A Day to Remember. And in between every set that a band does, they have to set up their equipment, and it depends really on what's going to be going on in that show and what they have planned, but I'd say on average, it takes like, 15, 20 minutes for the larger bands to set up their equipment. Since we had all the downtime, my friends and I decided, since we were in the back and we came to see A Day to Remember and they were about to go on next, that we would lock hands and we would snake through the crowd so that way we could get to the front. And so you have a better visual of what I was seeing that day. Here's a picture. You can see the house as a big giant stage, and this is actually a picture from when A Day to Remember was performing. That's the singer Jeremy McKinnon. You can see the giant crowd of people, and that doesn't nearly show how much people were actually there. I'd say like at the very least there was like 800 people there. And since we're on the subject, why don't you go on Twitter and show him this video? And surely once I talk about what happened in the fight, that's probably gonna piss him off, and whatever. Still like you guys, you don't have to like me. Back to the story. Me and like my 5 other friends, we locked hands and we were snaking through like a giant sneaky snake. We were going through this giant sea of people so that way we could all get to the front. And we were literally just pulling each other. We had locked hands. We were just pulling each other all the way to the front. And it's working marvelously. If you ever go and see somebody that you love live in concert, and it's a giant crowd, that is the best way to get to the front. I was in the middle of the snake, and while we were slithering to the front, there was a female, didn't know her, all I knew is that she was at the same show that I went to for the same reason that I went, and she was just fucking livid. She was maybe like 5'4". She had red hair. She's kind of cute. Not super cute, not real cute, kind of cute. Definitely not good enough to hit up because of how much of a hissy fit that she was having. She is screaming at the top of her lungs, "Stop fucking pushing me. Oh my fucking god, why are all of you pushing me? I swear to fucking god, I'm going to kill somebody." And you know when somebody is just really, really angry, and if you end up in their line of sight, you kind of become the point of their aggression? It just so happened that my part of the snake was right next to her, and her and I made eye contact. And then she just fucking lost it. She looked over at me, and just fucking me, granted the snake thing, it's not an awful thing, but it's certainly not like a great, wonderful thing that's great for everybody. It's an underhanded tactic to get to the front of the line, and I accept that. But it's survival of the fittest when you're in a big show like that. And she looks over at me and just channels every single ounce of anger in her little body and just starts fucking going at it and yelling at me. "Oh my fucking god, those people over there are the reason why everybody's fucking pushing. Yeah, this guy right here, he's the reason why everybody fucking pushes here. Nobody should fucking push me. Stop fucking pushing me." I know a lot of you probably haven't been to big concerts like that, and let me just explain it to you. It's a fucking ocean of people. There is no arm room. You can't fucking spread your arms apart if you want to. You have your arms tucked in, and you are inside of the giant crowd of people. The only fucking direction that you can put your arms is up or down. You don't have room to fucking do shit. You're in a crowd of people who all came and paid to see somebody perform live. The fucking room is packed. You're like Sar goddamn Deans. And on top of that, this is a band that has heavy music. They have nice soft songs, but they also have heavy music that makes people want to punch and push. And on top of that, the soft songs too are pop punk music, and that's just grounds for crowd surfing and jumping around. So you're gonna get pushed. It's the fucking place that you go to get pushed. If you didn't want to get pushed, behind that giant sea of people, there was bleachers where you could have went and sat down. But no, this woman was inside of the crowd where she was complaining to everybody, and then eventually specifically to me, about being pushed. Now, do you see why that's a little bit fucking ludicrous? And I literally wasn't even fucking near her. She was like 4 bodies away from me, and the snake literally didn't touch her. It was a matter of me getting lucky enough to make eye contact with her. And she's fucking yelling and bitching at me, and with a smile on my face, I'm just happily ignoring it because it's not worth it. She's a fucking idiot, and I'm trying to get to the front. So the snake, it starts doing its thing again after that brief little moment of her complaining, and then she fucking finally goes, "That guy over there is such a fucking idiot," in front of everybody. And keep in mind, they're still setting up, so everybody in the room can hear that she's complaining and that she had just called me an idiot. And I think to myself, well, she kind of has this coming. So I turn around, and in front of this entire giant crowd of people, I say, "Bitch, shut the fuck up. You're in a crowd of people and you're fucking complaining about being pushed." And immediately, as soon as I said that, the fucking entire room, all in unison, goes, "Oh!" Like you know that thing that your boys do when you fucking diss the shit out of somebody? Yeah, that thing. I was a little bit worried that I was gonna piss off a few people there, but thankfully enough, the entire crowd agreed with me that she was being a whiny little baby, that she should have shut the fuck up and just dealt with it. So everybody's laughing. She's still looking at me with her like surprised face, and then she finally wipes that surprised dumbass look off her face, and she gets all angry and she starts cussing and swearing at me, and she tries to like fucking swing at me. And I'm like, okay, that's real cute, ma'am. There was way too much people for her to even get close to me, and I realized that, and she was already really angry. So to make her a little bit more angry, I was smiling and I was laughing too. And you know that old-timey thing that like people in the 20s did when they were gonna fight? They were like, "Yeah, put him up." I put my fist up like that while I was like laughing at her. And before I fucking trigger somebody out there, I put my fist up like that as a joke because it was funny to do, not because I was going to fight her, because nobody fights like that. It was more like after you kill somebody in Team Fortress 2, you taunt. And that was me taunting after the big kill. And obviously, it was a good enough kill to put in this fucking frag movie. Am I right? And everybody thought that was really fucking funny too. And at that point, her friend like walked over to her. She's like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's get out of here." Her and her friend literally walked out of that entire crowd of people, and I never saw them for the rest of the night. But if they went home, shame on them. They missed out on a fucking awesome night. They missed out on shit like this. And at one point, they missed out on Jeremy McKinnon getting into a fucking hamster ball and crowd surfing all over us. It was literally insane. Like, that's the kind of fucking life that I want to live. And it's just one of the many things on my to-do list. And somehow, some crazy fucking way, I'm here making YouTube videos right now for a bunch of people, and that's fucking awesome. So to all of you out there, fucking follow your dreams. Do whatever it takes. And don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. You should try avoiding controversy at all costs, but that doesn't mean anybody has the right to treat you bad. You ain't nobody's doormat, girl. And here's the most important part of the video. The reason why that night changed my life. A Day to Remember had just finished one of their songs, and the singer was panning into the crowd of people. And in that time, I swear to God, him and I locked eyes for maybe like, 3 or 4 seconds. And it was at that moment that I knew that that's what I wanted to do and that I wanted to entertain people. And after that night, maybe like, 3 weeks, a month later, I started my YouTube channel, and after that, I was happily making videos for about a year and 2 months. And then Sin found me, and now I'm making videos for a shit ton of people. I'm making videos for 500,000 people. And my life is just completely turned upside down. And the love that you guys have been showing me in the past like 3 videos has been awesome, and I thank you so much for accepting me like that. As always, I'm Justin, and you're motherfucking not. Don't take shit from anybody, and if you're having trouble following your dreams, or with anything, like literally anything, in your top 3 to-do list, having fun should be in there somewhere, whether it's number 1, 2, or 3. Like, I'm not trying to be on some positive vibes shit, but when I started doing this YouTube shit, I told myself that I was gonna have some fun and never change for anyone. And looking at things from the perspective of that girl, she had nothing to be upset about. Don't be that girl. It was a night where I figured out what I wanted to do with my life, and she wasted her night getting angry. Time is of the essence. And click on the screen right now to check out some other dope videos on this channel. Hey, check out my channel too. It's pretty cool. Also, don't be the fucking person who complains about something that's bound to happen. See you later.